Welcome back. I'm John F. Gately. You can call me Jack. Let's talk about Matt Schlapp and the two allegations he's now facing as chairman of the American Conservative Union. You remember that in January, a campaign worker accused him of sexual impropriety back last fall during the election season last fall while working on behalf of the Herschel Walker campaign. And that allegation resulted in the necessity to hire an attorney, and that's where we have the corresponding financial impropriety allegation that is now being brought by the former treasurer of the American Conservative Union, who resigned in protest just earlier this week. So these two things are actually related. One is the actual alleged conduct, and then secondly, the alleged financial impropriety of defending that conduct. Matt Schlapp is married to Mercedes Schlapp, and they both have White House experience, and basically they're a Washington, D.C. conservative power couple. So yesterday, on May 25th, New York Magazine, Ben Jacobs comes out with this article, CPAC, rocked by resignation. And if we scroll down here, we got a picture of Schlapp, chairman of CPAC conference in March. A top leader of the organization put CPAC, the highly influential conservative conference, resigned on Tuesday night, citing financial mysteries surrounding the organization's leader. Now, let's be really clear. This article is coming from New York Magazine, which you would not really consider a conservative outlet, and its follow-up article is coming from the Washington Post, definitely not a conservative outlet. Bob Beauprez, is that how you say it? Well, that's how I'm going to say it. Bob Beauprez, the longtime treasurer of the American Conservative Union, which is kind of like the head organization of CPAC, said that he was not fully informed about money being paid to the chairman or paid for Chairman Schlapp's legal defense relative to the sexual impropriety case that we talked about that was filed in January. I cannot deliver a financial report at the upcoming board meeting with any confidence in the accuracy of the numbers, end quote, Beauprez said in his letter to the American Conservative Union Board of Directors. Let's scroll down. Here's the meat of the accusation. Days after Huffman's lawsuit, he's the plaintiff in the January sexual impropriety allegation, was filed, Beauprez, former Republican congressman, I believe from Colorado, wrote that the ACU's executive committee fronted Schlapp $50,000 so he could immediately get a lawyer. That seems like within the realm of reason, a lot of money, but let's just say that was okay. I'm going to stipulate that for this to begin with. Then Schlapp hired Ben Crew, apparently with that $50,000, who recently defended Johnny Depp in his lawsuit against Amber Heard, which I'm sure you've all heard about. No pun intended. After some back and forth over who should pay future cost, Beauprez wrote that he was blindsided when Schlapp told him he had raised another $270,000 from donors to the American Conservative Union and its related foundation. His shock grew when ACU's lawyers told him that in February, so this would be the month after the original allegation, that the money was either dispersed and or invoiced over $250,000. That means it doesn't necessarily was sent out, but it was certainly like encumbered is the financial word that I would use. I know that high-end lawyers are expensive, but over $250,000 in a month? Beauprez continues, I have to admit, I feel like I'm in the dark. I have received no further information about what additional costs have accrued since then, and I assume monies are either being paid, are coming from Matt personally, or the foundation, but again, I don't know. It's most unsettling. Then Beauprez goes on to say, allegedly, that during the March Board of Directors meeting, there was no discussion about this lawsuit or how the monies were being dispersed, or basically no mention of the case at all. Beauprez continues, all of us as directors not only have a right, but a fiduciary obligation to be made aware of what, how, and why monies are being spent, especially involving a corporation insider, the chair of the board, Matt Schlapp, such as the chairman. The case is now nearly 5 months old, and the full board has never been briefed. Now, while this scandal or allegation has been evolving over the week, Matt Schlapp has been active on Twitter, mostly relative to the Target scandal, which is another topic for another day. But he did tweet out a response to the Washington Post article, and here it is. Matt Schlapp, my response to the Washington Post, which is also effectively a response to the New York Magazine article. It's tragic that routine internal complaints of disgruntled employees are being rehashed and leaked to the paper of record of the left. So playing a little politics here with this response. No conservative with integrity. He's obviously throwing shade at Beauprez, who was the organization's treasurer up until just a few days ago, when apparently he had integrity, but now that he's made the allegation, he has no integrity. See how that works. No conservative with integrity would violate their fiduciary duty and forward board deliberations and documents to the Washington Post. Basically saying, hey, if you were a real conservative, you wouldn't be leaking this information to the paper of record of the establishment in Washington, D.C. The claims contained in the original email are out of context or are in error. Okay, but the Post would never allow us an opportunity to respond in a substantive way. Are you saying, Matt, that the Post would not do an interview with you? Or you just don't trust the way they would handle the allegations? Which is a fair point, Matt. Totally agree with you on that one. The Washington Post is probably not the place to do the public relations on this matter. I've experienced political assassination attempts on every part of my character in integrity for the past 5 months. That's an inference to the original sexual impropriety allegation that was filed in January. I'm disgusted that I need to respond to the Post about internal deliberations at CPAC, an organization that's grown 5-fold under my leadership. In my view, that's a denial and also trying to throw Mr. Beauprez under the bus a little bit as being disloyal. But it's not a very precise denial, which I think in this case requires a precise denial. It sounds to me as if he will also be lawyering up relative to the financial impropriety allegation. And again, these are just allegations. Nothing's been proven in a court of law or otherwise at this time. I would say that I would have a reservation about when two spouses are involved in the same corporation and or nonprofit. Mercedes Schlapp hosts the CPAC Now America Uncanceled show, so she's also involved with the American Conservative Union, effectively as, I believe, an employee there hosting that same show. And while that in and of itself is not an impropriety or an allegation, it is a situation that would require, in my view, a higher level of transparency and due diligence on behalf of the board to make sure that there is not even the appearance of impropriety. What this means for future CPAC conferences, nobody really knows right now, but we will watch the news and keep you posted. Thanks for watching.